This next coat that I'm going to put on, I'm going to go ahead and mix up a little bit more quickset, and we're going to put a thin coat on it with this 6-inch knife. Okay, we're ready to install the last coat of quickset material. And I'm using the 6-inch blade. And as you can see, this adds lots more material on there. And because I put two small little coats on there first, this one's going to cover nice. And I'm going to try to get it fairly flat, as flat as I can actually. Notice as I put it on, every once in a while I want to clean it off on my sheetrock pan, so I have kind of a clean edge to work with. That's what you hear in the background. I keep adding material on here. I'm bridging it out towards the inside of the patch. You can see I've got a square patch here. Most of the material is going on to the inside of that patch, just a little bit on the outside, not very far. We'll do some more on the outside, more than that on the next coat of mud, which we're going to use a different type of mud. For this last bit, you can see how it's starting, the patch is starting to take shape. Get that mud on there, and we're just keeping it as clean as we can on this coat. You can notice most of the ridges are going away, and that's the idea with this last coat of quickset. The material that we put on the outside edge is just a little bit. We're not trying to expand the patch too much further right now, but we just want to get some more material on there. I'm going to put a little bit on the inside of this patch, because ultimately we're going to have sheetrock mud all the way through this patch. Because it's a small patch, normally you don't do that. If you're doing a whole wall, let's say, you don't coat. Normally you don't coat the whole sheetrock. You just go around the joints, the seams, and that kind of thing. But because this is a square patch, we're just going to coat it, and that's kind of helping add just a little bit of mud in there. Okay, so now you want to wipe that off, taper it, and we're just getting it smooth. It's got to have kind of a light touch to it. You see a couple little spots where you need to add, you can add just a little bit. This isn't the finished coat, so we just want to get it on there. Wipe it off, and that's about all we're going to do with this last coat of quickset. So I'm going to do the other two patches the same way, and I'll tell you what we do next. So have fun with it. Hi again. This is what I kind of do between coats. I want to make sure my sheetrock knives stay clean, because you don't want to build up an edge on there when you're using the quickset. So just use another putty knife, and you can keep your knives nice and clean, because you don't want those to build up. I've got my 6-inch blade here too. And that goes for your sheetrock pan too. When you mix up the quickset, I don't know if I told you or not, but in between each coat, you've got to clean out your pan all the way. So even if you have some wet quickset still left in there, you want to clean that out. Or if it's dry, you've got to scrape it out. But every time you mix up quickset, you've got to clean out your pan. And knives for that matter. Okay, I'll be right back with you. Okay, before I add any more sheetrock mud to this patch, I'm going to do the same thing with this coat. I'm just going to gently knock down any edges that I see. So make sure you do it after this coat as well. Just clean it up a little bit all the way around, just like we did before. But I want to make sure you did that between each coat. Now, if you wait too long, then you got to start scraping like this, and you got a tendency to gouge in. So at this point, you can just gently wipe down this way,
You can wipe the edges right off of there. Because when we put the regular sheetrock mud on here, we don't want to have that coat too deep. The deeper that is, the more that mud is going to shrink. So this quickset is a non-shrinking material. That's why I'm putting on these coats, and I want to keep this as flat as I can before I put the regular finished sheetrock mud on here. Okay? Remember. Okay, we're done with the quickset. So what I'm going to do is, what I do is when I cut it, I just cut a little tip of it. That way I can pour it out, and just fold it back in like that. You know. Fill it up, and that's all we're going to use. We didn't use very much of it. We only used maybe this much of the entire bag. I've still got this much left, and this is probably like the fourth or fifth patch that I've done. Now granted, I only do small patches, so a little bit goes a long way. So we're done with that. Now we're going to get into the regular sheetrock mud. Show you how to do that in a minute.